listen. Come on, don't believe me, just listen. Don't believe me, just listen. Come on. Don't believe me, just listen. Get ready for this week's games with the Eastern Musketeers, Salem Lions, and the West Washington Senators battling it out under the lights. Wslm Sports Zone broadcasts are your tickets to all the Friday night action. Don't believe me, just listen. Come on, don't believe me, just listen. Wslm Sports Zone broadcast.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, we are here at McDonald's, and we are live with Wslm to do Coach's Corner tonight, and I'm going to be interviewing the three coaches of the county, and we're going to have Coach Brian Gleasing on with us tonight. Going to have an Eastern coach with us, and also we're going to have Jeremy Lowry going to be stepping in here just a little while. So right now, this week is a week that nobody really wants to talk to me. And, you know, the main reason is because, you know, we have had some pretty tough times in the county. And right now we've got Brian Gleasing with me right now. And, Coach, I don't even know how to start this tonight. Is it one of those things to where, you know, you just roll with the punches, or you know, how do you do this?
Well, we played a great football team last week, and we've played in our first 4 games, and then our game this week against Springs Valley. All the teams are going to have winning records.
Yes.
So we won one of them. We beat North Harrison, and that's their only loss. So you know, we're not to the level of Brownstown yet, and you know, we know that. We got a little bit better Friday night and last week at practice. Even though the score doesn't indicate it, we were the first team to score on their varsity, so that was a positive.
Yes.
You know, and we battled. We won some battles. We didn't win the war, but we won some battles, and you know, we got out of it okay. Brownstown's a great football team, and they do a great job. And you know, I don't see them losing the game. Now I know they play Seymour here in a week or two. Or I don't know when they play them, but I don't see them lose the football game all year. They're the best team I've seen in the 2 years I've been here in Salem.
You know, I think that, you know, when you look at their team, you know, and I think that, you know, when they play Seymour, that's kind of like the county rivalry, kind of like it is, you know, with us, you know, with you playing Eastern and playing West Washington. You know, I tell you what, sometimes you have those teams that just cannot be beat, and I think Brownstown is going to be that year. This is going to be that year for them. Do I think we'll get there in the next few years? Yeah. I mean, you've got a lot of talent coming up from the all the way from the little league, or you know, all the way up to, you know, through middle school. You got some talent coming.
Yeah, we're just very young. I mean, you know, I think we've only got 7 seniors on the roster, and I think you know, one of them's out and for a couple more weeks, so that's down to 6. So you know, that's where we're at. You know, it's tough to win football games when you don't have a lot of seniors. And, you know, we don't have a lot of juniors either, for that matter.
Yeah.
So we're relying heavily on sophomores. And then when you go up against a team that's like Brownstown, you know, it's going to, you know, the scoreboard's going to show it.
Experience means a lot, and I can tell you that, you know, looking at you know, the next team you're getting ready to play, you know, they got 11 seniors on the team, or 11 or 12 seniors on the team, and you know, looking at that roster last week, I'm going, oh my gosh, no wonder, you know, that French looking pretty good. And, you know, you look at Valley, and you know, you look at these teams that have that experience behind them, and here's the crazy part, you know, when you look at, you know, with what we have here in the county, you know, you just started the program, so you know, looking at the last 2 years, you know, to be able to pull, you know, 11 seniors, that's hard to do, especially within 2 years. So, you know, I want all the Salem fans to understand that, you know, it's going to get there, and it's going to be amazing. We're just going to have to wait just a little bit longer to get there. And also the injury list that you guys are handling. Yeah. I mean, that's rough on you guys.
We're getting a little better. We're getting a little better injury-wise, but, you know, hopefully here in 2 or 3 weeks we'll be back to full strength. You know, we haven't played a game all year where we've had, you know, been full strength, but we did a few plays in game 1 where we were at full strength, but you know, that's football. You know, you got to live with it. Some of the younger guys are getting some valuable experience, but we're getting better. We've had a good week of practice this week. You get better at practice. Mm-hmm. You know, that's where you get better. You get better in the weight room. You get better at practice. You know, and Friday night, you know,
look at a high school team and you see that even and I've looked at this when you even look at the youth league. Youth league, everyone's like, oh, he's been a quarterback ever since he was in third grade. Well, guess what? Now he's going to be a freshman in high school. Yeah. Guess what? He's going to be running back or a slot back or you just never know.
Football's football.
That's right.
You never know what position you're going to be. You never know how big you're going to get or if you how strong or tall or strength-wise or athletic-wise. They can throw. There's just a whole bunch of factors. I can remember my first year ever playing football was by 1979 or whatever. I know it's a long time ago.
You date yourself.
Yeah, exactly. And I was in the third grade, and I played offensive line.
Yeah.
And I was the smallest kid on the team.
Yeah.
But that's where I had to play.
Yeah.
And then over time, I gradually moved to the backfield.
Yeah.
And I didn't grow. But I played O-line my first year ever playing football.
Yeah. Yeah.
You just never know.
Right.
And today's practice, we're still experimenting with putting kids in different spots to see if it gives a little spark or gives us any help.
Right. Yeah. It's funny you actually say that. I've heard a lot of great things happen this week for Salem. For instance, some of the kids that you got some tough kids on your team. I mean, I've heard some kids actually that's been out and they're coming back in and they're like, hey, you know what? I'm good. Let's get this football game. I've also heard that you yourself was a pretty good high school player out here.
Yeah, a long time ago.
Yeah,
Ago. But it's funny you brought that up because I mentioned that today in practice to our scout team, at least one of our scout team players. When I was a sophomore and junior in high school, I played on the scout team.
Yeah.
I played JV football for my sophomore and junior year in high school, and it wasn't until my senior year I got to start as a wide receiver, and ended up having a great year my senior year and got to play college football. But I didn't get discouraged. I did what the team needed me to do. That's coming from my parents, making sure I'm doing the right thing. And as a sophomore and junior, I played on the scout team.
Right.
And so I was telling a couple of our scout team kids today, hey, go out there and perform on the scout team because that'll make you better in the long run.
Right.
And that's how you do it. And so you just got to work your way up, and you never know when it's going to be your time.
Yeah.
You never know.
And if anyone out there has seen, Coach Gleason, he's not the biggest guy on the field. But I can tell you this, I've also heard that he played like an absolute wild man. So I'm just going to tell everybody out there, it doesn't really matter what your size is. We had a kid that was, that played, in high school. His name was LT. He was literally, I think he was 100 pounds soaking wet.
Right.
But 4'11", I think he was. But he would fling his body into people, and that's how he was actually making tackles.
Right.
And I said, that kid has so much heart.
Yeah.
I would love to have 11 kids like him on the football team.
Right.
Because the heart is where the majority of most of the players need to be.
Yes.
Size doesn't mean everything. I don't care what anyone says.
Right.
And when you have that much heart and you have that much love for the game, you're going to do great things.
Absolutely. It's when we talk about caring, if you care, you're going to get the job done.
Yeah.
Whether you're 6'2" or 5'5", it doesn't matter. You got to, of course, size helps.
Yes.
It helps. But us little guys always had to fight and scratch and claw,
Right.
and maybe that's why we always maybe had some success because we were always scratching and clawing and had to do everything right, and perfect, and go harder than our opponent.
Right.
To succeed. That was how we succeeded.
Yes.
And because I went harder than some people, maybe. I don't know, but that's a key element to have that habit of because if you're 6'3" and 260 and you're able to move and do it, maybe sometimes it comes too easy for you.
Yeah.
And then you don't develop those habits of hard work and work ethic and heart, as you say. So us little guys, we scratch and claw, and that's how you develop those habits.
Absolutely. Hey, let's get into the game this coming week. I mean, we're not even going to talk about much from last week, but this week, you're going up against Springs Valley. I know West Washington played them last week with which last week was the first time I actually announced the game, which was kind of weird. I've never done that before, but I did notice some few things that I think that looking at what they were able to accomplish. I mean, they've got they used to be a passing team. It was a major passing team. I think they passed West Washington like 3 times.
Right.
But they have this kid named Christian Hamilton, number 31, and you will know him because he actually runs the ball, and he runs the ball, and he's go downhill every time, and he is a major person that needs to be stopped on that team. Have you been watching any film, or can you watch? I don't see, and that's something I don't even know. Are you able to actually get film from other schools and other games?
Yeah, normally you trade a couple of your last 2 games or some last 2 or 3 games with the opponent.
Yeah.
That's football epics with the coaches. So we get those films. So we know all about Springs Valley. They're a great running football team. 31, 31 is fast.
Yes.
And then they got a couple other kids that can run the ball too. And they're going to pound it. They're going to run tough sweeps. They're going to run power. They're going to run jet sweeps.
Yes.
And those are the 3 things they're going to hang their hat on, and they do it well.
Yeah.
And that 31 is fast. He might be the fastest running back we've seen all year long.
Right.
When he hits the hole, he's going to be gone. And we saw it on film against the Senators. He broke it through, and he's gone.
Yeah. There was times he broke 4 or 5 tackles.
We got to work it out for us. They're great. They're a top 10 1A football team for sure. And they're 3-1. I think they're ranked in the top 10 in 1A, and they deservedly so. But
now you guys are going there, right?
Yes.
Yes. So it is an away game for you.
Yes.
That field is a pretty nice field.
Yeah.
They don't have it's not turf, but it's a pretty nice field. Anything that you've been working on in practice this week that's going to hopefully build it for a curve?
We've got to get our linebackers to be more aggressive.
Mm-hmm. We've been too passive a little bit. On our linebacker play a little bit.
We're reading our keys, but we're reacting too slow. We just need to go.
Yes.
We need to play faster.
Yes.
Our linebackers do, and that hurt us a little bit against Brownstown. And if we don't do that, it'll hurt us again this week. So
Right.
We've emphasized that a little bit. I think we've gotten better at that. I think they understand it better. I think I thought our DBs last week did okay, got better. I thought we defended the pass against Brownstown fairly well. They're just a great offense. Brownstown is. Now Springs Valley poses you different problems. I think they're a more conventional offense, whereas Brownstown's more of the spinner wing T stuff. But Springs Valley's going to pull the guards.
Yeah.
And then they'll pull the guards. False pull you and run bubble the other way.
Yeah.
And pull your linebackers away, and then you got to go out there and stop bubble.
Right.
That's their scheme, and it's a very good scheme. And nobody's really been able to stop it yet. Paoli did okay against it, but that's their scheme, and they're going to stick to it.
Right. Well, Coach, I tell you what, I thank you so much for coming in this week and actually sitting down and talking to me about what's going to happen this week, and hopefully we can change the atmosphere whenever you come in next week. Hopefully we're not looking at the L, we're looking at the W.
Yeah, like I said, our first 5 games are going to come against teams that have winning records.
Yeah.
And Brownstown, I think 2 or 3 in 2A, and then North Harrison 3-1, and we were able to beat them. We're their only loss. And Scottsburg should be 3-1 as well.
Yeah.
They lost to Madison, so I think Scottsburg's got a great football team. I think their records, they're 2-2. I think their record should be better than that, and I think they're going to give Silver Creek. I think that's going to be a great football game when those 2 teams play. Which I don't know when it is, but so we played I think the 5 best teams on our schedule and are coming out. So,
Right.
And we just got to survive. We got to survive another week, get a little bit better, and then get to October healthy.
Yes. Yeah, it's one thing to actually go through, a partial season when you're, going against the teams that are in the same caliber that you guys are. But when you go up against these teams that almost seem like they're super teams right now because, there's so many seniors and there's so many. And I think football has literally blossomed in this area to be a major staple within the sporting community of, being, keeping those seniors and keeping those players going. And I know Salem's going to get there. I know West Washington's going to get there, and Eastern's going to get there as well. So we stick with the programs that we're going through, I think we'll be fine. So have patience, and it takes time. Brownstown, when Reed May got there, at the beginning they were great. Yeah. So it takes time, and you got to have some breaks and some good things happen, and they will. Absolutely. Hey, thanks so much, Coach. And hey, we're going to take a quick commercial break, and as soon as we come back, we will be speaking to the coach at Eastern, and we'll be right back.
This is Becky White from Wslm, and I'm here at the beautiful John Jones showroom in Salem, Indiana for the John Jones Auto Minute.
Fall is in the air, and so are the incredible deals at John Jones Auto Group. As the leaves change colors, so should your ride. Drive off in style this season with our spectacular fall savings. From sleek sedans to rugged SUVs, we've got a perfect match for your autumn adventures. Enjoy cozy comfort with heated seats. Get spectacular views of the fall leaves with a panoramic sunroof. Or take that trip with a brand new whip. Our friendly team at John Jones Auto Group is ready to help you find the perfect vehicle with financing options that fit your budget. So why wait? Swing by John Jones Auto Group today at one of our 4 convenient locations, Salem, Scottsburg, Greenville, or Corden, or visit us online at johnjonesautogroup.com to browse our full inventory. This fall, drive away with a deal that's as refreshing as the season. And remember, at John Jones Auto Group, you see so many because they pay so little.
It's time to put a little brawl in your fall, Salem Speedway style. Coming up on Saturday, September 21st, you'll be in for a treat with a Salem Fall Brawl presented by On-Site Plumbing, Heating, and Air and Schaefer's Lubricants. Get ready for Saturday night fights and 6 big action-packed features where all winners receive trophies and boxing gloves. Divisions racing are Diesel Boys Gas Series, Pro Crafters Salem Supercars, Mike's Muffler and Brakes, Crown Vic Big Track Series, On-Site Plumbing, Heating, and Air Crown Vic Short Track Series, Diesel Boys Race Parts Legends, and Red Ball Recycling Scrappers. It's the 2024 season championship event for the Gas Series. Pits open at 11 a.m., spectator gates open at 2, with practices to begin right after. Qualifying begins at 3:35 p.m., and racing starts at 5 p.m. 4 divisions will include 25 lap features, with the Mike's Muffler and Brakes having a 50-lap feature, and the Diesel Boys division turning 75 laps around the famed High Bank Salem Speedway. Adult tickets are just $15, chairbacks $20, kids 6 and 12 are $5, and 5 and under are free. Get more information at 1-866-TO-GO-RACE, or check out the SalemSpeedway.com. At Salem Speedway, the racing so fast, it's already here.
The volume down there.
What are you? You ready, Greg?
Yep.
Gentlemen, boys and girls, hey, we're back and we're live right here at McDonald's. And hey, we just been talking to Coach Gleason, and he's going to be going over to Springs Valley this week and actually going against the Valley, and the Blackhawks going to be hopefully in a hurt locker after they get done with them. So, hey, right now we actually got Eastern in the house. We're going to be talking to a couple players we got here, and we got the coach here, and he's going to be telling us about last week's game and hopefully what's going to happen this week. How's it going, Coach? Good. How are you? Fantastic, man. It's been a heck of a last couple of weeks, I can tell you. So what happened last week?
Well, we started off pretty good. We had 2 drives in the first half, stall out to 15. So that
yeah.
We were moving the ball, we were stopping them. Just mental mistakes, and they kind of stopped us there in the red zone, and we'd like to have that half back.
Yeah, absolutely.
Second half, I mean, it was kind of back and forth all game. We got the ball about 4 minutes left, ran 2-minute offense, got down and scored, went for onside kick, didn't get it, and they pretty much kneeled it out. So 13-7.
So, but even looking at 13-7, I mean, that's a heck of a score, really, when you look at, what the other teams have gone up against them. So, that's very respectable, and, I think with just a little bit more time, I think you guys probably would have pulled that game out.
Yeah, we'd like to have a lot of things back. I said we beat ourselves more than they beat us. To hold them, our defense played their butts off. I mean, we held them better than anybody has so far this year. I was very proud of our defense. And, looking at some of the stats here,
I tell you what, Silver Creek being a 4A school, I guess it'd be a 4A school. They are 4A, aren't they?
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, you think about it, 4A school. You guys are a 1A, no 2A.
We're
You're
a small 2A.
You're a
Very
small 2A. So you look at that, that alone, and you look at what you guys were able to accomplish against Springs Valley. I mean, that's a win all day long in my playbook. So
I think that was kind of the tale of the tape. We got a lot of guys play both ways.
Yes.
They really don't.
Yeah.
And that kind of we got wore out.
Yeah.
As the game went on, and I mean we wore them out too, but we don't have the depth that they do, and I think they had 85 kids on the team.
That's crazy. Now listen, they bust most of those kids in from across the river over there. I mean, they're busting those in.
Yeah.
So that's what I've always said about Silver Creek. I don't think it's fair actually to look at Silver Creek and say, oh well, they're playing fair, because they don't. That's my personal opinion. I mean, it's going to be hard for anybody to ever change my mind. I don't care if there's a gun to my head. I will say it all day long. I've watched Silver Creek too many times have kids on their team that I know for a fact does not live in Indiana. So,
well, I think and if you look at their history, I mean, they kind of underachieve for what. And I think that's probably because they just bring so many kids in and not really a team. They're not playing together their whole lives, and
right.
That can hurt you.
It can, because you think about, with the kids that you guys are dealing with right now. I mean, they played literally from elementary school all the way up to where they're at right now, whether junior, senior, whatever, and that means a lot whenever you have that camaraderie with each other of knowing that, hey, I've got your back in this case, and it also means a lot whenever you mad at the other guy, but even if you're mad at him, you're going to be. It's kind of like a family. You look at a family, you look at two brothers, they're going to fight like cats and dogs. But you know what? You let somebody else step into that ring, and they're both on them like a dog on a bone.
And that's why I tell them. I mean, these guys are going to be your brothers for life.
That's right.
There's still guys I played with that I'm close with, because it's just you don't build those kind of relationships outside of team sports.
Yeah. Right. I mean, you're taking your clothes off in front of each other. I mean, that's a lot. I mean, I don't care what anyone says. Yeah. So who did you bring with us tonight? Who do we got here?
I got Christian. He goes by Bobo. I call him Meatball sometimes.
Meatball.
And I got Marty Loon with us too.
Yeah. So let's start off with Bobo. Is that what he says? Okay. Yeah. How do you like that nickname? Oh, yeah, hang on a second. I got to turn you on here. Are you there?
Yes, sir.
Oh, we got you now. Yeah, here we go. Is that better? You can hear me? Good.
Yes, sir.
So what position are you at?
Fullback and outside linebacker.
So let's talk about the game last week. Let's talk about where you were at with it. What did you take away from the pregame speech that really got into your mind when you went to that football game?
It's really the same thing every week. He just comes in there, kind of hypes us up, gives us a little speech, prays for us, and just the praying alone, really, I think it does something to us. It gives us a drive.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Like you were saying earlier, being a family, definitely having Coach Newton coming in, just being his first year, he's definitely stepped in that role pretty good and leading the family, as you would say, lead the family. He's being a great role model for all his kids. I 100% respect that guy, and I'll take a bullet for him without a doubt.
So the voice you're listening to right now is Martin. I tell you what, and it looks like here you're halfback in DB.
Yes, sir.
So if you don't know what DB is, it's a defensive back. So that being said, you have one rushing touchdown. Christian, you had one. I don't know what that even means on Max Prep, so we're not going to even talk about that. But it looks like, Martin, you had 21.5 yards of rushing yards last game. When you guys are out there on the field, and this is something I really want the fans to understand, do you hear the fans?
Oh, yeah, without a doubt, 110%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you hear them and you hear your mom and dad up in the stands, it really makes you really want to play harder, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah, especially with the student section. Both sides.
Yeah.
Offensive-wise, here in our student section, get loud when we get the ball. definitely puts another drive when you're going into it, and when you're on defense, hearing the opposing student section get loud for their team, it makes you dig a little deeper and stop.
And and that means a lot whenever you're out there. So I want everyone to understand right now that the millions and millions of people that are listening right now to you guys. There's like 4 people, guys. When you go to these football games, I want you guys to understand that I want you to get loud at these football games. Because so many times do I go to a game and I think you can hear a pin drop or a mouse sucking on a cracker. So I want people to understand you need to get loud for these guys because it makes them want to play harder. And it's the same. It's the same. Regardless of where I go. Whether I go to an Eastern West Washington game, Eastern Salem game, whether I go to a Salem game, all the schools. Sometimes it gets so quiet. I'm like, and I'm the only one yelling. And if you ever hear the gigantic cowbell? Yeah, that's my wife. So she has this cowbell that's just, and it's like it's the loudest thing out there. So fans need to get loud. I want to hear the fans over this cowbell that we have because when you get loud like that, it makes those kids play harder.
Yep. Oh, 100%.
So let's talk about next week. Looks like next week we're heading to. Let's grab the schedule here real quick. You guys are going up against Corden?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And so it looks like here it's going to be at 7 o'clock at
Eastern.
At Eastern. So, home game. Oh, yeah. That's one thing that's I don't care what anyone says. When you're at home, man. It's like going there and laying down in your bed and going, you know what, this is home. And you're comfortable at home. Not really comfortable going another place. And I get it. So what are we looking for when we go to Eastern? What kind of have you practiced any different than what you normally would? Have you actually came up with any other schemes to go against Corden?
No, not really. We put in some new stuff last week, and we're kind of just continuing building onto that. We've added a couple wrinkles into it that we think are going to work against it.
Yeah. Yeah, Corden's known to. Well, I mean, it's all new this year. Corden, I guess they're up now. This is the first year for their coach too, as well, isn't it?
Yeah, I believe so.
Oh, this is going to be the battle of the first years. Oh yeah. So Bobo. So tell me, how long have you been playing?
Since 7th grade.
Since 7th grade. So what made you say at 7th grade, I'm ready to put this helmet on and go? Because you got to be a little crazy to actually think I want to play football.
I never went to school with football, so I moved here in 7th grade, and I'd always wanted to play football, and it was just time to do it.
He's got a U of L shirt on, everybody. Don't put that against him. He's got a U of L shirt. I mean, it's kind of like blinding me right now, So Martin, how about you? How long have you played?
I've been off and on my whole life. I played all the way through middle school. Freshman year I played, and then I had an injury during baseball season, sophomore and junior year, so I didn't play. Baseball being my main sport, I didn't want to get injured, sustaining injury during football season to stop me from playing during baseball. But I'm playing this year, my senior year, and like you said.
So you both seniors this year?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you both seniors. So what's the plans after high school?
Still unsure. Hopefully I can go somewhere and play baseball. I think
Yeah. So unsure. Martin?
I'm definitely going to college, hopefully to get a scholarship for baseball and continue playing my dream with baseball. But if not, I'm definitely still going to go to college.
Yeah, well, there's 2 things you got to look for when you go to college. The most girls and the best food. I mean, that's the 2 main things, I'm telling you. My son, he went to Trine up in Angola, Indiana, and he didn't go for the girls. So, I mean, he went for the food because the food's amazing, but he's also a football player for them. So when you guys do look for college, are you want to stay around here? You think about going away, or?
I'm definitely planning on going away. My family's been big into traveling my whole life, and I'm going to get out of Indiana before I settle down and figure out what I love in life. And I feel like going to college out of state will definitely give me that open mindset that I'm looking for. So.
How about you?
I'm looking forward to go somewhere not super far away, but not super close. I just want to kind of get away from home and be able to grow up.
I tell you what, I'll give you a little bit of a story time with Chris. Hey, me and my wife, we graduated high school. We were dated in high school. We were high school sweethearts. Well, she went to college. She graduated college, and then we decided we were going to move away. She wanted to go to law school, and so she went to Marquette in Milwaukee. And so we were living here. We grew up here. We grew up here in Salem, and so I said, we're moving away. So we left for 10 years. It was the best and worst 10 years of my life. It was the best because I learned so much. And then when I came back, it was the worst because I didn't know hardly anybody anymore. Then I am me, so I'm now on the radio. So pick those relationships back up. But leaving Salem, Indiana, or leaving, Pekin, or leaving this area will be the best thing you've ever done. And I'm not saying there's anything against this area. I'm saying you've learned so much. And then when you come back, you go, I really appreciate where I've come from. I mean, I appreciate my roots. I mean, boys, there used to be a parking lot right down here I spent every Friday and Saturday night at. I mean, it was phenomenal. It was called Lower Lot. I enjoyed it, loved it. This was my area, man. I mean, this was our place. So when you come back, and even to visit, I remember we would be in Milwaukee and we'd come back to visit, and it's like, nothing's changed. But guess what? People didn't change either. Up there, people change. So understand, whenever you go away, remember where you came from. Remember what you're going to. So, all right. Well, hey guys, thank you so much for coming on tonight. I really appreciate you taking the time to come and talk to me. I mean, it takes a lot to do this. It really does. And you got to be halfway crazy to do this stuff. So, but hey, I really appreciate you guys. You guys coming on. Thank you so much, Coach, for coming on and being on this with me tonight. So, hey, we're going to take a quick commercial break, and we're going to be back with Coach Lowry, and we'll be right back.
The Campbellsburg Country Festival is back and ready for its 30th season on Friday and Saturday, September 20th and 21st in Campbellsburg, Indiana. The festival kicks off with the Miss Country Girl pageant on Thursday, September 12th at 7 p.m. at West Washington High School. Events on September 20th kick off with town-wide yard sales throughout the day and opening ceremonies at 5 p.m. There will be live music at 5:15 and 7 p.m. On Saturday, September 21st, there's a 5K and pancake breakfast to get things underway, followed by a baking contest, kiddie tractor pull, silly safari, and a parade at 2 p.m. There will be food vendors, plenty of activities for the kids, live music, and fireworks to close out the day by straight shooters. And don't forget the baby contest and Little Miss and Master contest. For more information, contact Whitley Clements. Don't forget, all roads in southern Indiana lead to Campbellsburg on September 20th and 21st for the 30th Campbellsburg Country Fest.
Hoosier fans, it's a new era of Indiana football. Catch the action as head coach Kirk Signetti leads your Hoosiers into Memorial Stadium on Saturday, September 21st against the Charlotte 49ers. Purchase your tickets today for all the remaining home games this fall by calling 812-855-4006 or by visiting iuhoosiers.com. Cheer on your Hoosiers to victory and help pack the rock. Go IU.
And ladies and gentlemen, hey, thank you for sticking with me here. Hey, we had a great interview there with the Eastern coach, a couple boys. Hey, just wanted to say thank you to the coach for coming on with us tonight. And now we're going to move on to Coach Jeremy Lowry. How you do, Coach? Good. I'm trying to make sure I get the right one hooked up here. Okay. Let's see here. Can you hear me okay, Jeremy?
I hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, yes.
Awesome.
Okay, there we go. Now, I think we're back now.
Rocking and rolling?
We're rocking and rolling, man. I tell you what, there's a new board. I just tell everybody, hey, there's a new board I got here, and I'm trying to learn how it works, and if you ever know first time I'd ever actually called a game, and you know, it was. I mean, I thought I was a little early going to cramp down my legs because I was scared to death because I didn't know if I was going to do a very good job or not. So, well, but Greg.
I'm sorry we didn't give you more to talk about.
No, I'm going to tell you this. It's 100% my fault the reason we lost this. Because I remember last time I made chili for everybody on the football team. We had a horrible game. And this time, you know, I announced first game. We had a horrible game. So, you know, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to do this one more time. And if we have a horrible game, then it's 100% my fault. I'm quitting. So.
No, we just got to, you know, the key is you got to go back to work. And that's what we're doing. And, you know, we had some guys banged up, and we've had some guys sick. And that's no excuse because everybody's dealing with that this time of year. That's what you deal with, and you got to learn to work through the grind. And you got, you know, like I said, you've got to embrace hard times. And you know, one of the best qualities that football can give you is the ability to make hard work fun. And sometimes that can be a challenge, but I tell you what, you figure that out, and you'll always have success, no matter what you do. And it's just, we just got to put our head down and work, and that's exactly what we're doing.
Yeah, you know, I was sitting there looking at the roster from last week, and I did notice that, you know, looking at the other team, you know, they have a lot of you know, there's a lot of seniors on the team. I mean, I think at one point I counted, and well, I hate how they do the rosters anywhere, but you know, I counted, you know, 11 to 12 seniors, and it's like, you know, we're a young football team. And when I noticed whenever they put their JV in, it seemed like those age group of kids were the same age group of what we actually had on the field. So I thought that actually matched up a little bit better with what we have. I think next year it's going to be a completely different story when it comes to going down the Spring, or actually the Spring Valley coming up to play us up at West Washington. I think it's going to be a lot different.
You know, it is what it is. You know, that's part of football. You go through some cycles like that, and you know, obviously we're going to keep developing our kids, and we can't worry a whole lot about what everybody else has got, and we gotta keep maturing. And you know, part of those things are learning to go on the road. You know, that was our first road game, and taking our young team on the road and seeing how they perform. And you know, as disappointed as I was Friday, when you go back and watch the film, you know, again, the majority of our errors were self-induced. When we put a hat on a hat, we matched up physically. What got us in trouble is when we didn't get a hat on a hat, and they had a free runner.
Right.
And there was just some situations where that happened, and we got to block better, we got to tackle better, we got to know our assignments better. And we got to just go out and have fun.
Yeah.
We got to stop overthinking things, and you know, sometimes, you know, you hear paralysis by analysis, and you know, we want our kids to be honed into the game plan, but we certainly don't want them playing slow. We just got to go play.
Right. You know, looking at the game coming up in you know, for Paoli this week. You know, it's a home game. We have homecoming. You know, there's a lot of things going on this week at West Washington, and I know you're a lot like me. You wish that we'd just not do any of that stuff. We actually just, you know, have a football game, but because, you know, I'm kind of like you. I get nervous about the football game. You know, every week. There's, you know, before a football game, you know, I even have the jitters because, you know, it might just be because my kids on the team, but you know, when you have that kind of a you know, you're nervous, you're anxious, or whatever the case may be, you know, that means a lot whenever you look at a team, because they matter to you, and that you have that emotion with that team that you want to make sure that that's going to be a good game for them. So
yeah, absolutely. You know, you know, they prepare hard. You want them to go out. You want them to play well. You want to see growth. You know, that's the biggest thing. You want to see growth from game to game. You know, last week was our worst game of the year by far, but we had kids that took strides. We had kids that had growth, and now it's a matter of, you know, getting more kids on the same page, where we are getting more team improvement across the
You know, I do notice that you learn so much more with failure as you do success, and you know, I think that's where we're at with a lot of the kids right now. You know, they kind of need to fail just to, you know, learn a lot. And when you get a young team like this, you know, they'll learn. I mean, they're going to get much better, and you know, this week I think when we go up against Paoli, I think the Paoli is going to just lay right down for us, and we're just going to walk right over top of them.
Don't count on that. Don't count on that. You know, like I told our boys, Chris. You know, hey, anything easy ain't worth having.
That's right.
So you know, we want Paoli's best game, and we want to give them our best game because that's how you grow and that's how you get better, and that's what we're looking forward to. That's why we play this game, because we want to be challenged, we want to be pushed, and that's the message we're preaching.
Right.
And sooner or later, our kids are going to start figuring that out better.
Yeah.
And once you figure that out, man, does it become a fun game to play because you're not burdened. You're not burdened by all that, all those things that get in your way, all the noises that keep you from focusing on just playing the game. You know, the game is really, really fun when you're out there playing and competing and trying to put yourself out there, not worried about the distractions.
Now, is that coaching staff that's over there, is it the same coaching staff that was there when you were there and RJ was there?
Yes, sir. So, you know, those are you know, guys that I coached with for you know, 7 years, and then they were guys that were on my staff when I was the head coach there as well. So yeah, very familiar with their staff, and you know, had a lot of good times with those fellas. And it's kind of like going out and playing a pickup basketball game with your brother.
Yeah.
You know, you want to be your best.
Yeah. And you know, it's also one of those things where you definitely want to beat your buddies. I don't care what anyone says. It's like, you know, with that pickup game, it's like, yo, you're gonna lose.
What's that?
I know with when you want to do that pickup game with your brother, you're gonna beat him, and you're gonna want to win even harder than if you were playing some other guy that was in another county or whatever the case may be. So looking at you know what you're going up against, I completely know that you know you're going to respect these guys that actually we're going up against on Friday. So
absolutely, you chew your arm off to win, and they feel the same way.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, you know, I've had a lot of good times with those guys, and they've had a lot of good times with me, and we have special bonds. We've won championships together, and you know, there's history there, positive history, and it's going to be fun. That makes it fun. It's a fun atmosphere. People want to just get after it and compete, and that's what it's all about.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks so much for joining me tonight, Coach Jeremy Lowry. We are going to be at West Washington Friday night. Game starts at 7 o'clock. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. 7 o'clock.
7 o'clock. And hey, the ribeyes will be on point, so everybody can come out and get a ribeye and you're going to watch an amazing football game with an amazing football staff and players and things. And Jeremy, we're going to take a quick break, and thank you so much for coming and joining me tonight. And we'll get this going for Friday.
Thanks, Chris. Appreciate it, buddy.
Hey, no problem. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back.
Welcome to Around the House for your legislative update with Indiana House Republicans. In September, we celebrate National Voter Registration Month, a time to register to vote or update your registration before the October 7th deadline. State Representative Jim Pressel of Rolling Prairie says Hoosiers can register online at indianavoters.com or in person at their county clerk's office.
Whether it's the first time or the 100th time at the ballot box, voting is always important. indianavoters.com makes it easy to check your registration, view your ballot, and find your polling location.
Early voting starts October 8th. To find early voting and Election Day polling locations or request an absentee ballot, visit indianavoters.com. State Representative Kendall Culp of Rensselaer says voters must be an Indiana resident, 18 years old on or before Election Day, have a valid Indiana driver's license or state-issued identification card, be a citizen of the United States, and have lived in the same precinct for at least 30 days before the November 5th election.
The online voters portal is really a one-stop shop for election information. Those who make a plan to vote are more likely to follow through, so I hope Hoosiers take a few minutes and visit indianavoters.com to get started.
This has been Around the House with your legislative update from Indiana House Republicans.
After a joint surgery, injury, or illness, Meadowview and Salem Crossing are the best choices for helping you recover. Our Moving Forward rehabilitation program offers a full range of therapies. We're here to help you return home safely with the skills you need to live life on your own terms. Meadowview and Salem Crossing, two great options for your rehabilitation. To learn more, visit asccare.com or call 888-996-8272.
Give Du Bois County Tire a call. Big or small, they service all. They have the name brand tires you know to keep you cruising on down the road. They got tires for driving mean. They even got them for your farm machine. You can call them day or night. Du Bois County Tire does it right. Big or small, we service all. Du Bois County Tire.
Now through September 2nd, buy 4 eligible Bridgestone tires and get $70 back by mail on a Bridgestone Visa prepaid card. Get up to $140 when you use your CFNA credit card. Bridgestone, solutions for your journey. Available at Washington County Tire Shop in Salem. Subject to credit approval, restrictions apply. See BridgestoneRewards.com for details.
Big or small, we service all. Du Bois County Tire.
We're going to count it down. We're back and we're live, everybody. Thank you for joining with me tonight. Hey, we got a couple announcements to make tomorrow night. We've got the Braves at the Rams, or Braves at the Reds. The game at 1 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. And then, of course, we have Thursday night football. That's right, Thursday night NFL tomorrow night. So tune in for that. But Friday night's the reason for the season, the reason we're here. So, hey, I just want to let everybody know that the Lions, Salem Lions, we're playing at Springs Valley. Eastern will be playing Gordon Central at Pekin this weekend, or this weekend. West Washington will be playing, will be going up against the Paoli Rams right there at West Washington. So, we talk about this all the time. We talk about things that we do in these programs. I want everyone to understand these programs mean a lot to these kids, and these kids go out here every week and they play their hearts out just so we can actually be entertained, and also hopefully that they might be able to get a scholarship or might be able to just enjoy the last years of their high school to be able to play this wonderful game that we call high school football. And I don't care where you're from, Eastern, if you're from West Washington, if you're from Salem, it doesn't really matter to me. What matters to me is that knowing that you need to respect these kids and go out there and enjoy yourself and watch these football games and give these kids your support, because they are putting their heart and soul out. Just to kind of give you, for instance, Monday after school, 3:30, they're out there on that field till 5:30 every night. A lot of these kids, they don't have after school jobs. Their job is to go play football and to practice for football. Tuesday, same thing. Wednesday, same thing. Thursday, usually Thursday they have a little bit of a different schedule. And I know for West Washington, for Salem, they actually go out and they have a meal together and actually break bread together to go to fellowship with each other. Then Friday night comes, it's all on, it's all ready, it's all it's time to throw down the gauntlet, and you're going to go out there and you're going to show this other team what they've got to be handled with. So when you go out here and you want to watch these teams, enjoy every single aspect of it, to where if you are out here just to watch the game, by knowing the plays. I mean, I know I talked to a guy, he literally, I thought I was talking to Mr. Football one day. He knew every play, every scheme, every single thing about about the entire game. And I'm going, it really wasn't fun actually watching the game with him because he was so into the game that he didn't really even understand that what these kids were actually out there doing. And when I say what these kids were out there doing, they are out there playing this game because it's an absolute phenomenal game to them. And it's not just like, when you sit there and you watch, an NFL game and you're going, okay, you don't know any of these guys on the NFL team. And when I say know them, yeah, you might know them from oh, yeah, well, okay, well, that's Aaron Rodgers, or that's, Love, or that's Willis. You know all these the characters, but you don't really know the people. And when you go to these high school football games, guess what? You get to know those kids and I truly know them. And, I really enjoy when, Eastern actually brings in, kids to be able to talk to them. I mean, you get to actually know these kids. Hey, these kids want to, they want to go to college out of state. They want to, get away from their parents. Not in a bad way, but they want to be able to grow up because you truly never really grow up until you actually get out of where you're from and see other things and experience the world, because the world is a whole different place than just Washington County, Indiana. And but then again, these kids come back here and they actually, they go out and they learn a bunch of stuff. They come back here and actually bring a lot of experience back into Washington County. So I think that's a great thing. Also, one thing I want to touch on that I think is very important that everyone needs to understand is, when you go to these games, or if you when you work in these games, whether it's concession stand, whether it's taking money, whatever it is, you're volunteering for the kids. It's about the kids. Take all of your selfishness away from it and take it toward the kids, regardless if it's the football team, whether it's the cheerleaders, the flag team, whether it's the band, whether it doesn't matter, whatever actually you're in there to watch. It's for the kids. Remember that. And if you are a fan, remember that as well. Don't cuss the coaches. Don't cuss the referees, even though the referees don't really know what they're doing half the time. I get it. I'm with you on that. But be civil. Be better. The coaches are doing the best what they have, and you're not out there coaching. The refs are doing the best of what they have, and you're not out there reffing. You are a fan in the stands, and you need to be cheering on your kid regardless of whatever else is going on. So remember that. When you go out there and you enjoy these games, cheer the kids on. That's what it's about. I mean, we're not out there trying to relive our high school careers, because I can tell you this, mine sucked. And I'm sure that when I got out of high school, I'm sure they were glad I was gone. So go out there, enjoy the game, and we will be back here on Wednesday night next week for Coach's Corner. I will be at the West Washington game. I will be announcing again this week. So if you enjoyed that, great. Tune back in. Hopefully I don't screw it up, and you actually know where the ball is at and who's actually winning the game. So that's where it's at for me. So then tune into one of your favorite games. If you can't make it to a game, tune in. And also support these sponsors that bring us to this, bring it to you every week. So hey, thank you very much for tuning in tonight. I want to say God bless to everybody. And again, we are live. Good night, everybody.
You do Boys County Tire a call. Big or small, they service all. They have the name brand tires, to keep you cruising on down the road. They got tires for driving mean. They even got them for your farm machine. You can call them day or night. Du Bois County Tire does it right. Big or small. small, we service all. Du Bois County Tire.
Now through September 2nd, buy 4 eligible Bridgestone tires and get $70 back by mail on a Bridgestone Visa prepaid card. Get up to $140 when you use your CFNA credit card. Bridgestone, solutions for your journey. Available at Washington County Tire Shop in Salem. Subject to credit approval, restrictions apply. See BridgestoneRewards.com for details.
Big or small, we service all. Du Bois County Tire.
The City of Salem Parks and Recreation Department is planning activities for your children and will have several events and opportunities this fall and winter. And don't forget to take advantage of our facilities at DePaul Park and Riley's Place Playground. Shelters are available to reserve by calling the office at 812-883-2895. There is an outside grill, picnic tables, and 4 basketball goals. Community Park on Salem's east side has a variety of activities, from basketball and tennis to skateboarding, and it's also the location for t-ball games, youth baseball, and adult softball leagues almost every evening and weekend. If you would like to reserve a field, please contact the Parks Department. Also, there is playground equipment, a covered shelter and picnic area, and volleyball and a basketball court at Elizabeth Street Park. For additional information, call Tom Foltz at 812-883-2895 or stop by his office in City Hall.
Let's get on our feet and give a big hand to the starting lineup at McDonald's here in Salem. The quarter pounder is coming on the field. Filet of fish and those golden delicious fries are warming up on the sidelines. And now for the feature star of the night, the Big Mac. You'll score every time with a hot, fresh meal from McDonald's in Salem, whether you're there for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Take a time out and stop by before or after the big game to check out their all-day breakfast menu or value menu. Download the McDonald's app and you can get great deals on delicious tastes all day long, including buy 5 McCafe drinks and get 1 free. You'll score every time with the wife and kids when you make a touchdown at the Golden Arches right here in Salem. And don't forget, McDonald's has gift cards so you can give that great fresh taste all season long.
Or stop by 603 South Main Street today. And be sure to tune in at 8 p.m. on Wednesday nights with Bubba Abbott on WSLM AM 1220 and FM 97.9 for Coach's Corner, our live local coaches show that broadcasts live each week from McDonald's in Salem. Tune in to hear what Eastern, Salem, and West Washington coaches have to say about the next big game.